California's largest civil rights agency filed a racial discrimination lawsuit against electric car maker Tesla. Black workers were segregated and assigned to some of the lowest paying jobs.
We just want to be just treated and seen as equal human beings. They decided not to follow through. They decided to kill investigations. You know, you can't keep treating workers like this.
A California state agency recently sued Tesla Incorporated over allegations by some black workers that the company tolerated racial discrimination at an assembly plant, adding to claims made in several other lawsuits against the electric car maker. The lawsuit, filed in state court in early February of 2022 by the state's Department of Fair Employment and Housing, DFEH, said Tesla's factory in Fremont, California, is racially segregated, and that black workers claim they are subjected to racist slurs and drawings and assigned the most physically demanding jobs. The Elon Musk-led company has called the lawsuit unfair. The case follows 3 years of investigation into Tesla and alleges that black and African American employees at the company's Fremont plant are segregated to the lowest levels. The lawsuit describes multiple instances of racist language and drawings towards black employees, penalizing black staff members more harshly than white staff members, and denying black employees career advancement opportunities and equal pay for work similar to that of other employees. These numerous complaints by black or African American workers about racial harassment, racial discrimination, and retaliation, lodged over a span of almost a decade, have been futile, the lawsuit says. Tesla has continued to deflect and evade responsibility. While it claims not to tolerate racial harassment or discrimination at its factories, Tesla's investigations of complaints are not compliant with the law. The lawsuit says Tesla turned and continued to turn a blind eye to the years of complaints from black employees at the factory. For example, Tesla allegedly is slow to clean up racist graffiti, including ones with swastikas, KKK, the N-word, and other hate symbols that were drawn in common areas and on the factory machines. Additionally, the lawsuit says one black worker saw "Hang N" written next to an image of a noose in the bathroom of the break room. The same worker also saw "All monkeys work outside" and "FN" written on the walls of the break room. The writing and drawings allegedly remained for months. Discrimination against black employees was constant, the lawsuit alleges, and has been going on as early as 2012, the year after Tesla started production there. Black workers at Tesla complained that managers and supervisors constantly used the N-word and other racial slurs towards them and other black workers. According to the lawsuit, some workers at Tesla with tattoos of the Confederate flag would make their tattoos visible to intimidate black workers. Some employees at Tesla also allegedly referred to the factory as the slave ship or the plantation, in addition to other slurs. One black worker heard these racial slurs as often as 50 to 100 times a day, the lawsuit states. Black workers had to clean the factory floor on their hands and knees, while others apparently did not, and black employees were assigned to more physically demanding work. If they complained about the harassment and discrimination, they were retaliated against, prosecutors say. And Tesla refused to take all reasonable steps necessary to prevent the ongoing discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. Tesla did not immediately respond to a request for comment from several media outlets. California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing said it attempted to resolve the dispute without litigation at first, which would involve an internal dispute resolution provided by the department free of charge. When offered in January, Tesla refused to attend. In February, the lawsuit says the parties were unable to resolve the administrative complaints at the mediation. On the day the lawsuit was filed, Tesla issued a public blog post titled "The DFEH's Misguided Lawsuit," where it called the case unfair and counterproductive. Tesla strongly opposes all forms of discrimination and harassment and has a dedicated employee relations team that responds to and investigates all complaints, the firm wrote. Tesla has always disciplined and terminated employees who engage in misconduct, including those who use racial slurs or harass others in different ways. The company says that it will ask the court to pause the case. Tesla's run-in with the law is not a new thing. In October 2021, a federal court jury in San Francisco ordered the car manufacturers to pay $137 million to Owen Diaz, a contract worker at the company's Fremont, California manufacturing plant, between 2015 and 2016. Diaz said he repeatedly was called the N-word and told to go back to Africa. Swastikas and racial epithets were drawn in bathroom stalls. Complaints to management were not taken seriously, the Diaz lawsuit said. Tesla is appealing that verdict. In a blog post published the day after its release, Tesla said, "We do recognize that in 2015 and 2016 we were not perfect. We're still not perfect. But we have come a long way from 5 years ago. We continue to grow and improve in how we address employee concerns. Occasionally, we'll get it wrong, and when that happens, we should be held accountable." In 2018, Musk addressed alleged workplace racism in an email to employees. Part of not being a huge jerk is considering how someone might feel who is part of a historically less represented group, wrote Musk, a man who grew up in South Africa. Sometimes these things happen unintentionally, in which case you should apologize. In fairness, if someone is a jerk to you but sincerely apologizes, it is important to be thick-skinned and accept that apology. Diaz was able to file his lawsuit because he was a contract employee. Tesla's direct hires are required to sign agreements that shunt employment-related disputes away from public courts and into private arbitration. In its 10-K, Tesla also reported that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission issued a subpoena seeking information about its governance processes and compliance with a settlement Musk and Tesla reached with the agency in 2018. Musk and Tesla had been facing fraud charges stemming from tweets in which he falsely claimed he had sealed a deal to sell the company. The company, as known, has no media relations department. Invited to comment via Twitter, Musk did not respond. The explosive lawsuit seems likely to widen a rift between Tesla CEO Elon Musk, the world's wealthiest person, and the state where he launched the company. Tesla is now worth more than $900 billion, less than 20 years after the charismatic billionaire set out to transform the auto industry. Musk moved Tesla's headquarters from Palo Alto, California to Austin, Texas, last year after publicly feuding with California officials over whether Tesla's factory should remain shut down during the spring of 2020 while the coronavirus pandemic was still in its early stages. The 39-page lawsuit filed in Alameda County Superior Court frames Tesla's move to Texas as an attempt to evade accountability for turning a blind eye to years of complaints from black workers who protest commonplace use of racial slurs on the assembly line. Tesla is not ready to go without a fight, though. It therefore strains credibility for the agency to now allege, after a 3-year investigation, that systematic racial discrimination and harassment somehow existed at Tesla, the company wrote. According to the lawsuit, the allegations against the biggest EV makers in the world resulted from a 32-month investigation into its discriminatory practices. The complaint seeks back pay for black employees who are unfairly bypassed for promotion and raises reinstatements of workers who lost their jobs for discriminatory reasons and punitive damages. Musk, who frequently takes to his Twitter account with 73 million followers to comment about issues affecting the company, hadn't posted anything about the discrimination lawsuit a day after it went public. This isn't the first time that Tesla's treatment of the roughly 15,000 employees at its Fremont, California factory has come under scrutiny, but hopefully it should be the last. The factory, located about 40 miles southeast of San Francisco, remains Tesla's biggest manufacturer of electric cars, even after the company opened additional plants, including a new one in Texas. On top of racial abuse, more than a half dozen current and former Tesla employees filed another lawsuit alleging the company didn't take adequate steps to protect them against sexual harassment. Tesla is seeking to shift those complaints onto arbitration. Musk being a person millions of other people look up to, Tesla being the biggest EV maker globally, and racial cases being the most sensitive during this era, it is going to be interesting how this case will turn out. And as your #1 best news-breaking channel, in the upcoming videos we'll be giving details on the progress of this case. And this is not something to miss, so make sure you subscribe to be the first to know of any new developments.